And hello, hello. Hello, Irina.
Hello, Eva.
I'm glad to see you today in our studio, and I will give a short introduction who we are and what we do and why we are here. This is RIGA COMM virtual studio where we meet with the panelists of RIGA COMM fair and conferences, which will take place in October 3 and 4 in Riga. And my name is Ieva Drazniece. I'm LinkedIn strategy business partner for teams and professionals here on LinkedIn. And I'm really happy to have this conversation today with Irina Rozenšteina from Ellex Kļaviņš, Latvia team. And Irina, I would love to give you a short introduction opportunity.
Hi, Eva. Thank you. I'm really glad to have this opportunity to talk with you and also to participate and talk and to speak at RIGA COMM after 2 weeks, I think. So yes, I'm sworn attorney. I'm head of employment practice at Ellex Kļaviņš law firm. This means that I work with different kind of employment matters on day-to-day basis. And therefore, I will also talk about employment aspects or issues at RIGA COMM conference.
Yes, I'm very happy to know that actually I will announce this information that we can meet you on the RIGA COMM HR Tech stage, which is October 3rd. As a bonus, I'm super happy to be moderating this stage, so I'm gonna have this opportunity to start the morning together with you. So everybody, who join us in recording or live, you know that you can meet Irina at this conference, and she's gonna have her own panel. Irina, I have this thing that in the time moves so super fast. I was born in different times, and now I feel that my children live in different times than me. That everything like technology-wise is moving so fast, and this electronization is part of my life, part of everyone's life. And how would you describe what is the present situation and maybe the challenges of the people, of the companies, and the environment, business environment, and how this electronization is challenging and also giving opportunities, and where your part is in this whole picture? Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Yes. Definitely, different kind of technologies help us a lot. But at the same time, it is quite challenging to understand how to use them during employment relationships, because when you have new technologies or some new trends in employment law, usually there is no regulation at first, and you need to understand how to work with all this stuff, because quite a lot of companies want to be a little bit ahead of their competitors, and therefore they want to implement different technologies, different approaches. And of course, all this electronization, if we can call it so, it is one of the possibility which quite a lot of companies already use. But what we have observed is that sometimes companies start with implementation of new technologies, approaches, policies, but they have not, I would say they haven't thought properly how this will be implemented, how it will work, how employees will have to work. Because at the end of the day, employees are these persons who will have to implement your ideas and your new technologies in everyday life. So, and therefore, I can say that currently quite a lot of companies use, for example, electronic signatures, use also different kind of, for example, HR management, electronic management systems, which allow us, for example, to apply for vacations electronically, or inform our employers that I'm on sick leave or I won't be at work. It is possible to work remotely at the end. And of course, also AI tools are something new for us, but definitely we want to use it. And what I want to say is that we see that it is good to try to use these new technologies, but first of all, you definitely should evaluate and think how you will use them. You should prepare this proper base for this. I mean, internal regulations, internal rules, how you will use them. And also you should inform your employees about your plans. And sometimes I know that, for example, companies think that if we do not have elected representatives at the company, or for example, trade unions, we do not have to consult with our employees before implement something new. But I would say you should think about this, because sometimes it is very, very useful to talk with your employees prior implementation of all new processes. You can get quite a lot of new information before.
Actually improve the process, right, of implementation.
Definitely. Because of course, if you implement new processes, there will be this some time when you will have to understand how it works and whether it will work for you and so on. But it is very useful to discuss all these issues prior implementation, and also to make this base. And this base is something what we can assist you with. So it means that we can assist you with preparation of different kind of policies. For example, it may be very simple example, but for example, working remotely, it's a great opportunity. But after COVID, we understood that there's quite a lot of issues you as employer should regulate and you as employer should control. And the only way how you can do this, it's by implementing policies, for example, on working remotely. So quite simple example.
Yeah, Irene, but it means that actually there are many risks we can avoid with having this mindful approach, on like a plan, and consulting what would be the best ways with you, with the employees, but really think about the perspective that this is cost effective, time effective, and all kind of risks. Maybe you can also cover a little bit of those risks when it's done the other way around, when it's implemented and then only somebody starts to understand, maybe this is not the right way. What are the risks businesses and organizations really struggle when it's not done the right way?
I think I will start just with a simple example. I will proceed with this remote work issues because when COVID started, we found ourselves in the situation when we have to work remotely. And if we look to that situation years back, then I can say that at that moment there were no regulation in the labor law how this remote work should be organized. The only regulation was it's labor protection law about these work safety issues, how work safety issues should be controlled in case of this remote work. But it was the only regulation we had on the moment when we were faced with COVID and we realized that we have to work remotely. So, and what happened? Quite a lot of companies started to work remotely, and I can say that quite successfully. But the problem was that they also realized that during remotely there's quite a lot of different issues which are not regulated. For example, how you count working time, because it's, for example, it's the obligation of employer to count working time. For example, how you control performance of work. Whether it's mandatory for your employee to be on phone or reachable in any other way during working time, or maybe employee can work when it's more convenient to him or her. So quite a lot of different kinds of issues arose during that time.
Actually, completely different business setting, right? You have to build business from a different angle. All the operations,
And there was a situation that we all, the biggest part of us work remotely, but we do not have any regulations, and this created quite a lot of different kinds of misunderstandings and disputes with employees. Because of course, if you as employer wants that your employee is reachable from 9 to 6, and your employee thinks that I work remotely, I can work when it's more convenient for me. Or, for example, I can work remotely, and it means that I can work from everywhere, for example, from cafe.
Yeah.
But if you work from cafe, it's about your confidentiality obligation, your company's trade secrets, for example. Quite a lot of different kind of
It's
questions.
almost like a chain, one triggers another.
Yeah, exactly. So and I think it's quite a good example why it is very important to start with the regulation of the way how this new whatever technologies, new practices, new approaches, whatever, how they will work in your company. And it's your obligation as employer to set these rules, to set these boundaries. Sorry, my headphones.
It's a flying thing.
And, yes, and therefore, if we are talking about risks, these are that risks. Possible disputes with your employees, any other misunderstanding. It's all misunderstandings. It's also is nothing good at employment relationships. Also, it could create some issues with your clients.
Sure.
As I mentioned, also confidentiality issues as well. So these are that risks which could be in case you do not have this proper regulation of your processes at work. And the same applies also to usage, for example, of electronic signatures, which is definitely very, very useful tool. If you can sign documents electronically, send them by email, that's all. You don't need to wait when this original arrives to your office. But again, you need proper regulation for all this stuff. It's something with what you should start.
And Irina, meaning I believe there are companies and organizations who already have set those regulations and they come to you with specific need, but there are the other ones who have all the way around and they're looking or to start or to solve. Maybe you can give more picture on those reasons and maybe different types of how Ellex Kļaviņš can be helpful for organizations.
Okay. Yes, of course, we can, as you said, we can assist clients on preparation of any kind of internal regulations and policies from scratch, of course. But also in a situation when you have already implemented any new processes, procedures, and so on, and you have realized that you do not have any regulation on this, and you have maybe already faced with the problems. In fact, it's a very good situation from the perspective of the lawyer if you have already faced with a problem, because it will help us to cover
more
these
understanding,
issues. Yes,
more collaboration,
exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So, and this is what we also do quite often. We assist clients in the situations when they have already implemented some processes, rules, but they are not written. They are not prepared in this proper form, and this is what how we can assist to the clients for coverage of all these possible risks. Because unfortunately, in employment relationships, you should always remember that employees are these weakest parties of these relationships, and you as employer, as this person who will be responsible for setting these rules, for control of performance of work duties, and also in case of dispute, you will be the one who will have to prove that you have observed all rules and regulations. And to be honest, sometimes clients, in theory, they know this fact that employer is this person who is the most responsible one during these relationships. But as soon as you have a dispute at court, for example, quite often clients are very, very surprised about the fact that they are the ones who have to prove that they have done everything properly. And this is how we can help you for I would say trying to avoid these risks that you find yourself. Yes, prevent these possible risks, and that you are not at court or don't have any issues with some supervisory institutions in Latvia. Sorry, my headphones are just terrible.
it is the day when the headphone wants to fly. You don't
It seems so.
pay any attention to that, and we are comfortable. But speaking about employment, I understand that employment law could be different in Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, in every country. Which country we will take, what doesn't matter. But there are differences. Speaking of Baltics, for example.
Yeah.
What could customers do? What could organizations do then?
Yes, this is something what I would suggest to every company to understand that, yes, employment law is, I would say, quite country specific. So even if we talk only on this Baltics level, and we have offices also in Tallinn and Estonia, I can say that we have quite different employment regulations in each of our countries. And I know that quite often clients want. I can speak also with one. It's not a problem.
Speak with this one like this,
Oh yeah. So, okay. So I know that quite often companies want that they have for example, one employment template in all countries.
Mm-hmm.
But I can say that it is not a very wise idea, because of course I understand my clients that they want that there is similar agreements with all employees in all countries, so you can be sure what you have agreed with all of your employees. But to be honest, it's not very wise approach, because also we have, for example, EU regulations, and for example, which are directly applicable in all EU countries. Or for example, quite a lot of directives are implemented in our local laws. Nevertheless, these employment regulations are very country-specific, and there could be significant differences between countries. Therefore, sometimes clients want all these one templates, but usually we suggest them to use templates for this specific country. It will be also time and cost effective for you as a client, because if you need to adjust this send template for your country, quite often you will have to amend this document a lot, and at the end of the day, this document will differ a lot from the template you have received. So therefore, yes, it is normal that international companies, especially international companies, or even companies which operate on Baltic level, they want similar regulations. On employment relationships, but you always should remember that there are quite a lot of country-specific issues, and we cooperate with our colleagues in Tallinn and Vilnius quite often on day-to-day basis, and we face with such situations quite a lot. Therefore, I just know what I'm talking about. It is so. You should remember.
It's good to know. It's good to know that if organization chooses to work with Ellex, that they know that you are like a group. You can provide services for each market specifically, and this is, I think, very, very sustainable solution for the organization.
Exactly. This is what we also try to ensure to our clients, that there is a common level of the services. You always know what you will receive, what will be this type of cooperation, because we really try to operate on the same basis, on the same principles, and provide the same experience to our clients in each of the Baltic states.
Yeah, I appreciate hearing you. But speaking of electronization, and would you give us like a short glimpse, like trigger, what is going to be your panel on RIGA COMM October 3rd? HR tech stage, you are the opener. What is going to be your panel about?
Okay, I will be talking about these AI tools which could be used by employees during performance of their work duties. But I will talk not about AI tools which you as a company has already implemented and ask your employees to use, but I will talk about possibilities when employees use these tools on their own discretion. So, and I will talk about these possible risks. Therefore, this title of my presentation is whether to allow such practice or to prohibit this practice. So we will talk about these risks which you can be faced with when your employees use these AI tools during performance of their work duties.
don't tell us everything. Allow
No.
our community to meet you in person and hear your panel in RIGA COMM. Irina, what would be your suggestion? How to connect with you? Where to contact you? Where to approach Ellex Kļaviņš in Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and you specifically, till everybody has a chance to meet you in RIGA COMM in October?
Yes, of course, you can meet me at RIGA COMM after 2 weeks, but you can find all our contact details at on our homepage, ellex.legal. And also, of course, on LinkedIn, you can find me on LinkedIn. It's quite easy.
Awesome. I appreciate you very much for your time and your input. I think this topic is just being more relevant from now on. And I'm very happy for you to join us. And thank you, everyone who will see us in recording. And thank you those who joined us live. And till the next live conversation, which is going to be actually today in a very short time. Thank you. Bye.
Okay, thank you, Eva. Bye. See you soon.
Yes, we close the live.